Kenya and Ethiopia could show the way on migration governance. Margaret Monyani, Senior Researcher, Migration, ISS Pretoria. These two Horn of Africa countries are heavily affected by migration and well placed to lead on policy responses. Migration governance in Kenya and Ethiopia has significant implications for regional stability and human rights in the Horn of Africa and in each country. In 2023, East Africa, the Horn and the Great Lakes regions hosted 16.4 million refugees and internally displaced persons, around a third of whom were in Ethiopia and Kenya. By the end of 2024, these regions are projected to host an estimated 23.6 million forcibly displaced people, a significant rise from last year's figure. Armed conflicts in Sudan, Ethiopia, Somalia, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo are major contributors to this situation, along with climate change-linked floods and droughts, and economic challenges. Ethiopia and Kenya are at the epicenter of complex migration dynamics in the region. Migration has profoundly shaped their socio-economic landscapes, altering labor markets and economic activities. The influx of refugees has led to the development of businesses and services catering to their needs. It has created new jobs and boosted demand for goods and services like housing, healthcare, education, and transport, adding to a vibrant economy. Demographically, both countries' populations and ethnic compositions have increased, reflecting migrants' varied origins. Refugees bring diverse cultural perspectives to host communities, highlighting the positive role migration can play in reshaping the societal fabric. Kenya's Ushirika Plan provides opportunities for refugees while ensuring that host communities also benefit. While Kenya has adopted the International Labour Organization conventions, not ratifying these other conventions means that migrants and refugees might not get comprehensive protections. This is a critical gap for both nations. Another area of concern is the lack of protection for returning Kenyan migrant workers and their families, especially when deportations are unanticipated and are issued from countries without bilateral agreements. This leaves returnees vulnerable and unprepared for reintegration. An example is the Beirut incident involving about 50 Kenyan migrants who protested against unbearable living conditions in Lebanon and asked for help to get home. The International Organization for Migration had to step in to offer migrants immediate reintegration support, with the backing of Kenyan government representatives. Strategies to monitor and assist returning workers are crucial. These measures not only mitigate the risk of foreign criminal networks exploiting migration for illicit activities, but ensure that returning citizens are safely reintegrated and supported. This reduces the likelihood of their involvement in cross-border crimes on their return. Strategies to assist returning workers mitigate the risk of criminal networks exploiting migration for illicit activities. Human trafficking and migrant smuggling are also rife in Ethiopia and Kenya. Ethiopia's integrated approach to addressing trafficking and safeguarding victims' rights is commendable. But its Proclamation 1178/2020 for the prevention and suppression of trafficking in persons and the smuggling of persons falls short of international standards, particularly in its definitions and criminalization of trafficking. Kenya grapples with various forms of internal and transnational trafficking, including labor and sexual exploitation. Although Kenya has the National Coordination Mechanism and the National Referral Mechanism for the victims of trafficking, neither is effectively implemented. Another key problem is the lack of coordination among the various agencies, which hinders anti-trafficking efforts. A lack of expertise and financial resources is also a factor. So, while Kenya and Ethiopia have made notable progress on migration governance, significant challenges remain. Both nations must align their national migration laws with international norms, ensure the effective execution of current policies, and establish thorough frameworks that cater to migrants' varied needs.